Herbert Rosenbluth, Fire Controlman, second class. My memory is when I lived in the Bronx on Morris Avenue. At that time I was probably when we moved there, I was probably about 10 years old. I don't have too many memories. I do remember I was born, the family was living on West Farms Road in the Bronx. And we moved away from there. I was pretty young, and then we lived a couple other places that I don't remember too well. And then we moved to Morris Avenue. It's the northern part of the Bronx. And I went to PS 86. I don't know whether you want to know that. I went to PS 86. And it was a brick building, but they still had a wooden building on the grounds there, and my grade was above that, so I didn't go to the wooden building, but they had a wooden building there. And I went to PS 86 and until I graduated from elementary school, and then I went into high school, Theodore Clinton High School, which is up near Marshall U. Parkway, northern part of the Bronx. And until I graduated. What did we do when I was a kid? We'd go to school, then we'd come home, and we'd usually play ball. And you could play ball in the street because there were very few cars there. People didn't have cars. They didn't need cars. They used the subway, the elevated. And so that was the routine to come home, play ball, and till it was dinner time, and you went up and we lived on the 4th floor of an apartment building, and didn't have a lot of toys. I mean, I'm not trying to poor mouth, but we didn't have a lot of things. If you had 10 cents, you bought a Spalding ball, and only one guy had to have 10 cents to buy the Spalding ball, and you played with that until the police came along. If you were playing in the street, if you played stickball, they'd take the stick away, and so you play a different game. You play punch ball, which was, you didn't need a stick for that, but we prefer to play stickball. And in the wintertime, one of the fellows had several maiden aunt and bachelor uncle, and he used to get a lot of gifts. And we always had a football. He always had a football, and we used to play football in the street. Of course, he used to call it association football. Why we call it, I don't know, but you passed the football. Somebody had 2 teams, and one team would they'd run out. You'd form a line, and then they'd run out, and you'd pass the football, and that was the game. Of course, you had sleigh riding. Of course, there was always snow, and you had a sled, and they had a good hill there. We had a good hill where I lived, and you could go down and you walk back and you keep going down that hill. If there was snow when we were older, teenagers, if I say older, I'm talking about maybe 14 or 12, even 14. You'd try to get a shovel. We didn't own them, so we'd go to the superintendent and say, "Can we borrow a shovel?" He said, "Yeah, shovel our sidewalk, and then you can borrow the shovel." And then we'd go around and try to get. There were some private homes, quite a few private homes on the block, and we'd shovel and maybe earn a quarter if we were lucky. Doing quite a bit of shoveling to earn a quarter. Quarter was a lot of money then. Of course, if you want to go to the movies, it was a dime. If you want to buy candy, you went to a United Cigar Store, and you get the 5-cent candy. If you buy 3, they were a dime. They're 5 cents each, bought 3 for a dime. And we also lived in it was not too built up where we were, north of where we lived, and it was a dump, a city dump. And you went over to the city dump, you'd find deposit bottles. And you have to clean them up because they'd be pretty messy. And if you find somebody who ought to treat you right, they would take them. Others would turn your way. They'd say, well, I'm going to take a bottle. They either 3 cents or a nickel for a deposit.